We've got some gaming news, and guess what? It's specifically about gamepads. That's right, trollers. Let's get into it. Now I'm going to be rattling these bad boys one after another like an Uzi, a machine gun, if you will.
Just like an Uzi, like wieners.
I did cut off a little more facial hair than I wanted to. I was just going to knock it down, but I buzzed my chin a little bit. So my options were have a silly willy patch on my chin or just look like a normal dude that's starting to grow a beard. You don't care about that, but what you do is the topics we're talking about today. As I share my screen, the first one we're going to jump off with is Turtle Beach acquiring PDP. And why this is a massive, monumental, pop yourself over there, Kevin, a huge deal. I had to bounce around the screen so many times because these are two major gaming peripheral or accessory companies that have been diddling in the controller market for quite some time, specifically PDP. Turtle Beach is somewhat of a new entry. In fact, I was lucky enough to get my nitty-gritty mitts on the first ever Turtle Beach controller, the Recon, prior to its public release for a little bit of early testing. Tongue twister. For a little bit of early testing. Same thing with its successor, a slightly cheaper and stripped down version, the React R, as in are you going to the mall later, Miss Lippy?
Are you going to the mall later? That's what I'm asking.
No, I am not going to the mall. Keep spelling, mister.
And then, of course, the controller that won last year's Xbox Controller of the Year at the Controller and Real Game Awards, the first ever and hopefully not last. We didn't get canceled. But I'm, of course, talking about the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra, a $200 premium wireless Xbox controller that goes shoulder to shoulder with the titans such as the Elite 2 and the Scuff Instinct Pro. That is, professional edition. But since Turtle Beach is a larger company than PDP and they're primarily known for their headsets, their over-the-ear cans, they've been making them for almost 2 decades, but they don't have the experience in the gamepad world that PDP has, as they've been producing budget, entry-level PC and Xbox wired controllers, sub-$60 controllers you can pick up on the shelves of Walmart and Best Buy, all the way back to the Xbox 360 era. So this is an official article from Turtle Beach that dropped March 13th of this year, 2024. Crazy. More years are becoming behind me than they were in front of me. I'm becoming older. The hairs on the side are more gray. The heartburn is more frequent. Let's fucking get it. Not the heartburn, but this article, and not sidetracked anymore. The title here is Turtle Beach announces a transformational acquisition of PDP and intention to relaunch reverse Dutch rudder tender auction. Sounds like something you've read about on Urban Dictionary that you've been trying to get your girlfriend to do on you. So there's a lot of executive hoopla we really don't care about, but as gamers, controller gamers, troller heads, the strategic acquisition of PDP or performance design products. I don't like the wording here. It should be today Turtle Beach, but Turtle Beach today announced the execution of definitive agreements to acquire PDP, a leading game accessory provider, at an enterprise value for PDP of $118 million. So they just Googled their net value. Hey, that's what we're going to give you for the company right up front, which is a privately held third-party gaming accessory leader that divines? Yeah, they're pretty divine pads, that designs and distributes aftermarket video game accessories, including controllers, headsets, power cases, and other accessories. I guarantee you Turtle Beach is going to scrap the PDP headsets or just make them a super budget offshoot, but probably completely ditch them since Turtle Beach is already known for their headsets and they want a controller company. Just like Corsair is known for their computer peripherals, and then they gobbled up Elgato for the streamer equipment and Scuff for the trollers. All these big umbrella parent companies want a custom controller company underneath them, sweating in the sheets, so to speak, and earning them a fuckload of money. The transaction combines two leading gaming companies with industry-leading teams, significant product momentum, well, Dr. Disrespect there, the violent speed and momentum on the market, and proven track records of delivering profitable growth, making money for the company and making controllers for the gamers. That's what else can you really ask for from a controller company? The transaction substantially grows the size of Turtle Beach. Here it is right here. This is the sentence for all y'all.
Gentlemen, listen up, y'all.
Bringing PDP's leading game controller category to Turtle Beach will provide additional scale and create future development opportunities. Furthermore, the company provided the following strategic rationale. Yeah, what's the rationale behind your decision, buckaroo? It's right here. They break it out for you. A lot of boring shit here, numbers tossed around. This sentence right here sums it all up. Turtle Beach is bringing PDP controllers to the lineup. There it is for you. The next one is an exciting one when it actually does come to fruition. However, these trees have been growing spring, but they haven't been producing any fruit. I haven't been able to taste any nectar or juices or any of these succulent peaches yet. As many of you may know, I've reviewed multiple Victrix controllers on the channel, which are an offshoot of PDP. So keep in mind that we just talked about Turtle Beach, who's going to be acquiring PDP. So that's also going to include Victrix Pro controllers, which there's 3, a wired and wireless Xbox variant and a wireless PlayStation variant. I've reviewed all of them on the channel, and one thing I always mention during the Thumbstick section is these are modular swappable modules, but that's only to switch between an Xbox side-by-side symmetrical thumbstick layout or an offset PlayStation layout, because PDP doesn't sell any swappable thumbstick modules. So if you get stick drift, you're still buying a brand new controller, not just swapping out a $40 module replacement. This is an article from Digital Trends that dropped October 12th of 2023 that says Victrix plans to launch the modules in 2024. We're in 2024, the 5th month of 2024 now, and I haven't heard any more news about this. So I don't know what's taking so long, but when they do hit market, that'll be a valuable upgrade for current owners of the Victrix controllers. Now, one concern that I have with those is going to be availability, because if you come over here to Amazon, the swappable modules for the DualSense Edge were readily available for the longest time, little Prime 2-day shipping and whatnot. Now they're not, and haven't been for a few months. Coming over here, they're also sold out on PlayStation Direct and have been for a long time. The supply of these has run dry, and they're not retapping the well. I don't know what the hell's going on here. And that is another thing I want to touch on, is that it was mentioned that the DualSense Edge, not by Sony, but mentioned by nerds and Reddit and whatnot, sweaty controller lords of the internet, that third-party modules were coming to the DualSense Edge. Now that, unlike this announcement article from Victrix, is complete rumor and hearsay in the rear say. There's no, here, we'll do a Google search for it, see if Sony's uttered anything from their lips. After scouring the web, the only available modules are from this company, BCAU Mods, BCAUmods.com, and they have Hall Effect Genful units over here, $47.75 for one module. That's hell of a, wow. Plus you're of course talking about shipping. We're not on Amazon here, boys. I'm not going to question the reputability or reputation. Would I spend my hard-earned ducats? Would I plug in my PayPal to this website? Me personally, probably not, because I'm very cautious about bending myself over a barrel online. This does look pretty super legit though. And again, so do a lot of scams nowadays as well. But other than the Hall effects, they have increased tension, decreased tension. These are a little bit cheaper because, to my understanding, these are still potentiometer. The only Hall effects are the Genfuls over here. So this is an option for you. And that's awesome that this is a possibility through the third party, because Sony decided to go with a modular approach with these swappable modules. Love that. This is a huge one for you racing sim fans. And yes, myself, I have entered that pool. In fact, I've dove into the deep end with no swimmer's putty in. In fact, I conked my head on the side of the diving board, and I didn't give a fuck. I was still backstroking, breaststroking, having a phenomenal time. But what is one of the most popular and arguably the best, in fact, you hear almost unanimously positive praise about this company, just like Odyssey Maxwell headset in the audio world, Fanatec wheels are talked about so positively. One of the best things about Fanatec wheels, hands down, has got to be their maximum platform compatibility with all these other wheel companies, the big ones being Logitech, Thrustmaster, and PXN. We'll toss them in there as well. I wouldn't really recommend them. They were like the first wheel company I discovered and used, but now having learned more and used more wheels, they're not the best for a couple of reasons. But with all the other name brand companies, you usually have to pick a platform, Xbox and PC or PlayStation and PC. We see that a lot in the controller world, and since racing sim wheels are in fact controllers, they're controlling your game, or don't call it a game, your racing sims. Almost got a pool stick snapped across both my kneecaps from racing sim fans. But Corsair, who is a huge, I said that with a lot of gusto behind it, because they are a really big company, and you have to keep in mind they do own Elgato, Scuff, and Origin, I believe it is. I cannot confirm or deny, but I will. Yeah, don't ever second guess yourself again, Kevin. Origin PCs, which is gaming PCs loaded to the gills with RGB, and now also Drop. This is a new one. I don't even know about this one. Okay, it's audiophile grade headsets, or at least they look like audiophile headsets. They might just be over-the-ear consumer grade cans. I don't know. Don't quote me on them yet. I haven't fucked with them. Not important. We're closing that. But the fact is, Corsair's got some big meat in the game, just like Dell's got Alienware. But that's it. They've only got like that one company, as where Corsair's got like 4 smaller gaming companies under a little umbrella. Hopefully, we're going to see another logo here with Fanatec, taking you to the Fanatec wheels. wheels. Now, why this is beneficial for us, the consumer, is prices of the Fanatec wheels most likely would go down because Corsair is able to mass produce these wheels, or at least throw some of their resources when it comes to outsourcing manufacturing. So by combining the two companies, I can only assume that's going to be good for the pricing of Fanatec equipment. And who knows, Corsair might even develop some new products under the Fanatec sim series. But the actual status of this happened in Milpitas, California on May 9th of 2024. Corsair, whose ticker symbol on the market for you swing traders out there is CRSR, announced today that it has entered exclusive negotiations.
These Federation types are cowards. The negotiations will be short.
To acquire sim racing specialist Indoor AG, owners of the world famous Fanatec brand. So the parent company of Fanatec is Indoor AG, just like ZeniMax Media Group was the parent company of Bethesda. So when that got gobbled up by Microsoft Studios, Xbox fans, of course, got all of the Bethesda titles. Got your Doom and your Dishonored and your Elden Scrolls? No, that ain't right. Elder Scrolls, holy wowzers. All those bad boys on Game Pass. All these gaming companies, whether it's software or hardware, have some kind of a parent company leering over them with greedy little executives.
Money, please.
Oh, no, there's no money.
Money, please. Money, please.
Ben, give her some money.
Now go ahead and put a little bit of Vaseline on your nipples because we're about to get milked for views, or clicks, I should say, with these journalistic platforms that constantly, every month or so, trickle out articles teasing or speculating with the Elite Series 3 controller. And they always say things like predictions, release date, estimate. None of these are an official announcement from Microsoft, but do believe in your heart of heart and your soul of gamer souls that if you are subscribed, and only if you're subscribed, you will find out the second that Microsoft pulls the trigger on that announcement, probably in the form of a written post or a short form video, me just being like, hey, it happened. Elite Series 3, it's coming. Here's the price. Here's the release date. Here's the features. Here's my thoughts. Flick my bean. But to summarize, don't get your panties too bunched up and wedged up the crack just yet. There's time for that later, but the Series 3 has not been officially announced yet, or even really teased by Microsoft, to be honest. The next one's a quick heads up to my Stallions and Stallionettes. I mean, I don't own you. They're not my Stallions and the squad here, basically. The entourage, the gang, if you will. That there are some new controller companies. It feels weird to even say that. Is there new controller companies anymore? Yes, there is. You know, we think of the major titans that have been in the game for 15, 20 years. Things like Scuff, Thrustmaster, Logitech, PDP, PowerA. But there are a couple of new custom controller companies that are entering the market, stepping into the arena, the Crucible, the Gauntlet, and they were polite enough to reach out to me. I guess they've heard down the grapevine that this is a popular channel for controller reviews. I'm not going to sit here and shuck my own meat here, but a couple of these companies, actually a few, because a couple is two and it's more than that, are sending out prototype or beta units for me to test and give my feedback or thoughts. Since I don't have the nuts, the cojones, or also the funds to be starting my own controller company, so I just assist where I can. But keep an ear peeled and an eye tuned. That was a weird way of saying make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because there are going to be some new controllers that you probably never even seen or heard of with features that are, whoa, that's on a controller? Those reviews are coming soon. The next one is extremely important if you are in the market for a custom controller, and this is a bit of a warning, a disclaimer, if you will, to not buy hyper passwordless authentication because it will not protect your network. Of course, when you search for hyper, you're going to get all these results here. You need to type controllers on the ass end of that search, why don't you? I've reviewed multiple hyper models on the channel, and one of the things that got a lot of praise on the channel was the fact that they are the first custom controller company to have Hall Effect modules readily available for sale. Having said that, there were a lot of growing pains. There were some nasty circularity issues, jitter, stutter when at neutral. They weren't performing very well on the first batch, which unfortunately went out to more customers than it should have. Furthermore than that, the way that customer complaints are being handled, returns, refunds, swapping out for a freshie, just being able to get customer support on the wire, the phone, the email, is not great. To the point to where a few months back, I made a video very similar to this one, except not quite as aggressive aggressive and not quite as a nail in the coffin-ish, saying that my representative at HYPR, which happens to be not just the janitor over there, kind of somebody that knows their shit and is working on people's gamepads and stuff, they were whipping the quality control into shape with these Hall Effect thumbstick modules, and they were also handling their payment through a new third-party carrier that was causing a lot of issues with refunds. If you haven't seen that video, it is linked in the description below. Check that out first, because I actually read verbatim the claims of the company and then my response and how it's really being perceived by my audience, who happens to be a lot of customers who have purchased HYPR controllers. And the bluffer bottom line up front is this: it's several months down the road from that video, and these changes haven't been implemented. It was great that they said they were going to do this and that, but I am still, to this day, getting a ton of DMs in Discord and complaints in my comments section from people saying, hey, I bought a $200-300 controller from HYPR, decked out to the max with Hall effects, and I had this issue or that issue, and they're not having their refunds processed in a timely manner, or they can't even get customer support on the line. So a lot of them have reached out to me, and I do the best I can to handle these on a case-by-case basis, but even those ones where I'm giving a specific case number to HYPR aren't really getting handled in a timely manner, or in some cases at all, which is scary. I mean, you're spending like $200-300 on a controller here.
I might.
And because HYPR kind of had the market cornered in that they had the only Hall Effect custom controllers on the market, there was still a reason to recommend them. However, I just simply can't, because of the piss poor quality control and the fact that the positive changes that were mentioned just haven't been implemented yet. In fact, I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I'm seeing as many, if not more, complaints on a daily basis than I was 6 months ago. So as of now, what is it, May 10th of 24, I cannot recommend buying a HYPR controller, but luckily transitioning or segueing, doing a little donut on a segue, Paul Blart, AIM controllers, which if you search for AIM, it also doesn't take you to that. You got AIM specialty health over here, this bullshite, this bullschlaga, AIM controllers, baby. AIM is offering Hall Effect thumbstick modules and has for about 2 months. I have yet to review these. I was one of the first people, and I do mean the first. Before these were actually on the market, I was given a beta or test unit, which did unfortunately have very similar issues to the HYPR, with a little bit of jitter where it's kind of stuttering at neutral, but I didn't feel it in gameplay. Definitely reflected in gamepad tester. However, I gave my feedback to AIM, returned that unit, was sent a new John, a new bad boy. A week and a half later, I've had that for about a month now. That has Hall Effect thumbsticks. It performs beautifully. I use it on PS5, Xbox with an adapter, and of course PC, and I've had no issues whatsoever. They perform just like potentiometer thumbsticks, which is a good thing. Of course, there's no drift because they are Hall Effect, so virtually impossible to get stick drift unless you have a recentering spring go out on you. But if you're looking for a Hall Effect thumbstick module custom controller, AIM does now offer that. And another feature is finally, thank God for our Xbox brethren out there and sisterin, a remap chip for the ass end of the Spider Remap paddle pack. Well, it wasn't remappable, it was static. You would have to choose in the builder, I want this to be A forever and this to be B forever. Why the fuck would you want that? Because then you have to go into each game settings and hope that they have button bindings in there. Stupid, absolutely stupid. And something else to mention is that these are different paddles than the last or most recent Xbox AIM review that I've conducted, which was the V2 paddles, and I believe these are V3s. These are a different paddle design for sure. They're closer to the rear shell, which is a good thing. The bottom two, larger, that's a good thing. And also the stippling or little diamond section for grip is better than the V2s. I can tell just by looking at it. And keep in mind, these are always removable on the DualSense and the Xbox controller, so if you just wanted 2 paddles or none, you can do that. And what's cool about that is that AIM can come out with different versions, different paddle shapes or designs, and you don't need a whole new controller. I do want to touch on their warranty because it is good, really good, and then also not so good. So it is the only custom controller company that I know that offers a lifetime warranty, and that does cover a lot of parts or components, including the paint. So if your palm is wearing off the paint job, the hydro dipping graphics, you can get that replaced. The controller buttons, that's huge, because if you get the digital buttons, those do have a tap life cycle and should be a lot more durable for you. But if you get the membrane bad boys, the stalkers, and those get jammed in for you and you don't really want to take apart your controller and fix it, which I advise you don't, and AIM also does advise you don't, you can get that fixed here. Smart triggers, so those are the clicky digital Mouse-like click triggers, love them and recommend them. Bumpers to match, those are both replaced. The paddles are going to be the plastic swappable pieces in case you snap one of those bad boys. The bases are going to be the spider kit in the back where you remap everything. Now the actual controller motherboard, so I guess the stock controller's PCB, the printed circuit board, and then stick drift, so the modules themselves are only covered for 45 days, which I don't like, because with these other controller companies that offer a really short warranty, like 6 months, super short, that covers everything. So if you get stick drift, that's covered for 6 months. As we're here, that's only covered for a month and a half, which is very, very short. Lifetime on all these other parts and components, but a month and a half for stick drift. Keep in mind, if you go the Hall effect route, probably not going to get stick drift. And keep in mind, if you're going to pull the trigger on a purchase with one of these very expensive custom controllers from HYPR, AIM, Cinch, Mega Mods, etc., check the description because there are exclusive discounts for almost all of those companies. GameSir, who already has a freakishly cluttered model lineup of budget or entry-level Xbox and Switch controllers, is adding 2 brand new models. I can't give you any specifics. In fact, I don't even know if I'm supposed to tell you that there's 2 new models coming, but that's so freaking vague, and yeah. But there are 3 new GameSir controllers, new to me, that I haven't touched, that I'll be reviewing on the channel. This one that's popping up here, boop, it's already on their website, has been for a little while, haven't got my hands on it. It's a mobile style snap and clip, like a ROG Rakiri, or Rika, a backbone clone, basically. Oh, is this potentiometer? Okay, they're, okay, thank God. Swappable Hall effect sticks, it says there, thank God. But there are 2 new models. I can't give you any more deets about that, but all I'm going to say is long-term fans of the channel are going to be really excited for these ones, I'll say. It's a bad angle for me. It makes my necks look fucking huge. 8-Bit Dough is releasing 3 Xbox licensed controllers for show, and my representative over there reached out to see if I wanted to give him a little early test and review, but after meticulously busting out my monocle and putting my eyes on the monitor, I politely declined, but I'm going to bring this information to you now. These are the identical controllers as the Xbox Wired Ultimate that I reviewed a couple years back, but there's now a wireless version, and they rock Hall effect sticks, but to me that didn't warrant doing a brand new review. It might be a different case if things were really quiet over here at the GamerHeaven and I was struggling for video ideas or something, but the schedule's packed. I've got so many reviews in queue, a closet full of controllers that just released or haven't even been released yet, begging me to be reviewed, and also a comment section full of Stallions and Stallionettes, not begging because Stallions don't beg, but sternly requesting reviews for these controllers that they deserve, and I'm gonna finna deliver them. And things as frivolous as re-reviewing a controller that I was already on the fence about, not really, like, just a mediocre controller 2 years ago, but now it's wireless and has Hall effect, but it's the same controller at its core, the same face buttons, same D-pad, same trigs, same ergonomic shape. You get my point here, but I did want to deliver it as a news blurb here that 8-Bit Dough now has 3 Xbox licensed controllers, the Ultimate 3 mode, the C-Wired, and the Pro Wired. Whoa, the naming convention over there. Hall Edition, baby. Also, this is just a side point, but you know my name over there, 8-Bit. We've corresponded multiple times over the last 2 or 3 years. My name isn't GamerHeaven. You drop that in a rap bar or something. Last name Heaven, first name Gamer. I don't really know what you'd follow that up with. Not a loser, I'm a gainer. I don't know. Not much rhymes with gamer. Heaven, you got a slew of bars for that. That's gonna do it. I wanted to keep you Stallions and Stallionettes on the track in the race, caught up with the latest and greatest in the gamepad, controller, membrane, leave a stain, take your brain world. That came out of nowhere. Thank you for watching. Drop in the comment section below what you're excited for in the controller world, any upcoming gamepads. We'll get a little conversation going on down there, and I'll see you Stallions and Stallionettes tomorrow. Peace. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers, so this information will reach and assist them as well. Much like the back of the TV, I've got plugs for all of my socials down there in the description below. And your wallet will greatly thank you if you check the description, because there are exclusive discounts on a ton of products, including controllers, KontrolFreeks, keyboards, mouse pads, clothes, and energy drinks. And keep in mind that you, the viewer, keep this channel running. The more Stallions and Stallionettes trotting around the stable, the better, so mollywop that subscribe button like it owes you money, and we'll have the same amount of fun tomorrow.